Good evening, everyone. I am Chris, and I am delighted to be joined with everything in Middle Earth. It has been a long time. I think it's almost coming up to 2 years, I think, hasn't it? I checked since season one aired. And we've had a bit of a watchful peace since then. All was well and good in the land until Amazon and its season two of Rings of Power decided to return once again. And we're here to talk about it. First and foremost, mate, thank you so much for jumping on tonight, getting in contact again. It's an absolute pleasure to talk about. Of all things, Rings of Power with you once again.
Oh, thank you, honestly, for having us on. And, when I came across your channel a few years ago, I loved your passion and your drive for Middle Earth and Tolkien's work. And it's great to see you producing content that's Lord of the Rings and outside of Lord of the Rings.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a privilege to be here. And I can't wait to talk about it. Like what you said, we've heard really nothing from the Rings of Power perspective, and I don't know about you, I've not rewatched it
No,
since
same.
2022. And so seeing the trailer, it kind of all came back to me. But I was really excited. As soon as I saw it, I thought of you. I thought, we need to get on this.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really delighted to be here. So thank you very much.
No, absolutely, man. It's a pleasure, and yeah, I mean, the thought of me having to tackle this show on my own is really depressing. So at least someone's. I mentioned it I think on the last live stream that the streams that we did and just talking about it week to week, it was almost like therapy a little bit, just kind of like how Amazon is ruining everything. So just to get it out there and sharing the pain, sharing the collective pain with everyone, it's yeah, it was really good. So I'm glad we're gearing up for season two. And have you marked your calendar? What was it, August 29th, was it? 24th, 29th?
You know what? I've completely forgotten the date. I'll pull up the trailer. I think it's the 29th.
Yeah, I know it's a Friday. I think it's a Friday. So, yeah.
How do you feel about them releasing 3 episodes in one go? Seems though, how many episodes are in the show?
Is that what they're actually
8?
doing, or?
Yeah, they're dropping 3 on the same day.
Oh fuck! That means that's a lot. Oh god, we've got to get 3 episodes
which
reviewed
for us,
straight away.
For
it
us,
seems
that's
like
terrible.
yeah. I think Disney Plus tend to do that a lot. I know they did that with Andor, and I think they do it with a lot of like the animated Star Wars shows. I mean, it gets almost like a third of the show out the way, I guess, in one fell swoop, but it means a lot of viewing time right off the bat, doesn't it? So we'll see. Unless it's like a little mini story arc, I guess, implying they're actually telling a story this season, but we'll get to that in a second. We've got a few people in the comments. We have Carl Roberts says, "Evening, gents," and we have SeaWorld Man who says, "You didn't live stream putting it back up." Oh, he wanted me to live stream putting this poster back up. It only took like 2 seconds, dude, and you don't want to see me like awkwardly standing on my bed trying to. Have you ever tried putting like a picture up where you've got like the little hook on the back and you're trying to like check to make sure it's hooking up right? Like, it was an absolute nightmare. I don't think it's a live stream that people would be clamoring to see, to be honest. What they are clamoring to see is us talking about Rings of Power. So also shout out Waldrig. Thank you very much for keeping Waldrig, the man, the myth, the legend, alive. Keeping him going. Look at that handsome man. He's going to be back for season 2.
I still find it bewildering that I look at that photo and he practically causes the One Ring to be formed. He causes a base for Sauron. He literally, without him, you don't get any of the Lord of the Rings films. You don't get anything.
It's like when George Lucas was talking about Jar Jar Binks and he was like, Jar Jar is the key to all this. Waldrig literally is the key to all this. He unlocked Mordor.
I'd love to just sit down with the person who wrote it. I think it's Patrick, and there's 2 of them.
Yeah, hang on, let me find their fucking names. J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay, yeah.
2 of the most experienced writers going, so thank you. Have you seen their writing credits?
I have not. Who should I search first?
Please.
Are they kind of like a team? Do they work on the same stuff all the time?
Yeah, they're proven to
Oh
some.
my word, that is well, that's JD Payne's, and I'm assuming. Oh yeah, they're together. Right? Wow. Okay, it's a short list, but it's an infamous list. Uncredited writing credits, by the way. That's probably for the best. Star Trek Beyond 2016. And then we have
Ooh.
Godzilla versus Kong, and then we have Jungle Cruise, and hot off the heels of Jungle Cruise, we have Rings of Power. Wow, oofed.
Don't you think that's crazy that someone with that less of experience gets given a multi-billion-pound show and get given all this lore? I know they have restrictions on what they can use, but giving that to inexperienced writers, and we've seen that with other shows recently, like a lot of the Disney shows, they're going for people that have, had uncredited roles, and I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't get how, the days of going with, let's say, a Spielberg or someone who's got, you go for the experience because you know what you're going to get. I don't know if it's because these people will just be yes men and go, oh yeah, we'll go with it. Like, whatever you say, we'll write it, or we'll get it done quickly and fit, whatever politics in there. I don't know, but I find it baffling. And you're kind of seeing the result of their work. And can you blame them for messing it up? Because they ain't got experience.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
I mean, you see that with feature films as well. And it's like, what is the thought process? Like, they must know that these films suck, and it's like, get me that guy that did Jungle Cruise. They're the guys. They're the guys for Middle Earth, So.
He's our man.
Well, and then I'm thinking, well, they took their chance on. I hate to compare them in the same sentence, but Peter Jackson, when you kind of look at the films that he made before, I mean, all of them are better than those films that I just listed by a country mile, but, he was kind of that low-level horror guy, made like a weird kind of biopic about, what was it called? Heavenly Creatures before, and The Frighteners, kind of like odd-mark horror drama films. It's like, give The Lord of the Rings to him, so I can't be mad about that, because I guess there are some circumstances, very, very rare circumstances, where that can work. But yeah, if you're going for writing credits and you want strong writers, for the love of God, pick writers that have actually written some credible shit beforehand, So
I'm just having a look at the episodes. So there's 8 on IMDb for season 2. So we're getting 3 on the first go. I find that. Do you reckon they've done that because of the drop-off rate from season 1? Because didn't it finish on? Was it domestically? It was like 39% of viewers finished it.
It was very
That's
low.
awful.
I think some didn't even finish it, did they? I think, but you can never really tell with that, because companies lie about numbers. And wasn't there something on, was it the finale episode, where for a lot of people watching it on Prime, the episode stopped and reset back to the beginning, so technically for every person that watched it, it counted as 2 views or something like that. I think I might be wrong about that.
So. I didn't have that issue, but I remember seeing other YouTubers say, hold on, like it kept jumping back, and apparently as well, if you hovered over it, that counted as a view. So you didn't even have to click on it.
Right.
So this is where they can go, oh, it's breaking records for views. Well, let's see how long people are staying, and it's not long. And just I don't know anyone who's gone and said, you know what, I can't wait for season 2. Like when you've got a show that you really like. I mean, I really like at the moment The House of the Dragon.
I've heard that's great.
I've
heard that's really good.
Honestly, it's fantastic. And when season 1 finished, it was like, I can't wait. In like 2023, it's like, oh, I'm going to rewatch that. I don't know anyone who's going, oh, I can't wait for season 2. I can't wait. And if they are, they've got some chromosomes missing, I'll tell you that much, because no one is missing that.
It is funny to see the competition between this and House of the Dragon, because I think in your video you mentioned that Rings of Power have shifted their release date or something to avoid House of the Dragon. But didn't the House of the Dragon trailer go up literally like 2 hours after the Rings of Power trailer or something? I swear they were released in the same day.
Yeah, I think it was 2 hours they released their main trailer, and it's like they are trolling. They are trolling, and I'd love to see how many upvotes it.
Well, that's just what I was about to check now. So, House of the Dragon, Season 2. This is the main one from the Max channel. We have 139 upvotes and 2.4 downvotes. So, pretty decent ratio there. Now, let's have a look at the updated Rings of Power, as of this video at least. We have 79,000 upvotes and 423,000 downvotes. That's huge.
Ooh.
That's huge. And this is your debut trailer for your brand new season after 2 years away. And you mentioned like not watching it again. Of course, I haven't gone back to this show. You did. I don't want to announce anything because we haven't organised anything. But you did maybe mention about like rewatching it, and I suppose I probably am going to have to rewatch it before the new season comes out. But I was astounded how, watching the season 2 trailer, I couldn't remember characters' names. I couldn't remember how certain character threads and story arcs ended in the previous season. And I guess you could argue that that's the pitfall of releasing a show 2 years after. You know, with a TV show, really, you need it to be like an annual thing. You want to keep the ball rolling with it. So maybe that's partly to play. But honestly, I think it was just like a lack of interest in what I was watching. I kept thinking like, what happened to Isildur last series? Did Bronwyn die, or did she survive? Like I genuinely couldn't and still can't remember certain things. Like Adar, Adar or whatever he's called. I forgot his name. I was like, what was he doing? He was imprisoned or something, wasn't he? Was that it? And I shouldn't be like that. I should be out of my mind, like hooked. Like, oh, I can't wait for season 2. What are they going to do next? And I'm like, yeah, just keep delaying it. You know, when they skipped out last year, I was like, oh no, what a shame. What a shame. Oh no, I've got to wait an extra year for Rings of Power.
I would 100% agree with you. Right, here's a quiz for you. Name me Isildur's sister.
Oh, fucking hell. Oh.
What's her name?
It's similar to the father's name, isn't it? It's like I was going to say Ealindil. It's not that. Oh, I don't know. EA something, word salad.
Isildur's sister.
Oh, I thought you actually knew. I thought you were about to tell me.
Oh, no. It is... Oh,
Arindia? I don't know. That sounds Lord of the Ringsy.
You are very close. I think it's Arian?
Arian. Arian.
Yeah.
Arian?
Arian, I think it is. The one who everyone knows for a certain feature. But...
Two certain features.
I mean, can you... You know the main elf guy who was in it last season? What's his name?
Oh,
the guy who just jumped out of the cart.
Oh, like a fart cloud, just and he just like windmill kicks out of the cart. Oh yeah, what is his name? Shit, this is what I mean. He was meant to be like a main character, right? I can't fucking remember his name, legitimately, and I'm not even playing up to the camera. Like I don't remember it.
He's the main one. It's baffling, isn't it? He's one of the main characters. I genuinely don't have a clue of his name.
No clue.
The only ones that I remember, Theo.
Oh yeah.
It's just like, oh, he's in it. I know they missed out our main man, which I wasn't happy, to be fair. But you've got to keep the audience hooked.
It's because there's going to be some like pivotal shit with Waldrig that they can't possibly show in the trailer.
I mean, I'm worried because we can't remember the ones from last season, and then you get that hero shot, and there's a load of new characters, and it's like, oh, I can't be bothered.
Yeah.
You know what they need to do? They need to put, like the Xbox game tags, just put it on over the heads, go say, that's their name, so we know, because I have not got a clue. I mean, one of the elves that are in that huddle, I thought it was the one who was at the guard tower in the first one, but I completely forgot that he died in the
Oh yeah.
show. Like, I completely forgot. I was like, oh, what's he doing there? He's got a new haircut. And it's like, no, he's dead. It's so forgettable.
You know what?
Honestly,
In all honesty,
baffling.
I even forgot Bronwyn's name, and I only recalled it because I watched your video on it where you mentioned. I think even you said like I had to Google that or something. I totally forgot her name.
I mean, do you remember that she got shot twice with 2 arrows in
I,
the
I, I do I
last
don't even
episode?
remember the events of it. I remember. I know she got poisoned, but I can't remember if she pulled through or if she died. Like I just don't know.
Oh gosh, yeah. I completely forgot she got poisoned.
We
It's
need to
awful,
rewatch
and
this
we will
series before
rewatch
season
it.
2, don't we? We need to rewatch it. Oh God,
So
help us!
August, right? Let's do it. Let's organise it because it's going to be a lot of pain,
Oh yeah,
but
yeah. Alcohol will
we'll
be
have.
required.
Oh yeah, let's do it. Smashed watching the Rings of Power. Let's go for it.
Or maybe some old Toby, if that's your thing.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
we've got a comment from Carl. Says, from watching the trailer, it would seem Amazon has learned nothing. We'll never understand why film studios have stopped making shows for the audience that built the fan base. Yeah, and this is across the board at the moment. I mean, I kind of preach this on my channel all the time. It's just, it seems like they have to subvert everything. Like, when was the last film you'll see with a hero's journey? Now it's always about tearing the hero down, or the weak masculine lead, or the... I always say, you know, like the strong female character, if they're well written, I don't care. Like that's great, but they never are written well. That's the issue that's going on at the moment. So yeah, it just seems like they're always very contrarian and they're always talking out against the fans. Star Wars are probably the worst for it. It's as an example of recent memory. My God, what they have done to that fan base and to that IP is yeah, it's devastating, but it looks like the Lord of the Rings fans are holding fast against this one. And yeah, we're going to have like an interesting Amazon versus Warner Brothers thing going on at the moment, because we've got the War of the Rohirrim coming out this December, the Hunt for Gollum recently announced, and these are all going to be running in tandem with this show. So we'll see. Hopefully those are better. I mean, but my God, they can't get any worse, can they? Rings of Power Season 2. Oofed. Right, we have no talking points on this at the moment, so this is how I kind of like to do my live streams. Just kick back, let the conversation go where it will want to go. So I'm going to pass over to you first. Which talking point in the trailer do you want to hit on first? And we'll just go from there, and we'll see what happens.
I think we go for the main one. I think the thing that hit me straight away, it's got to be Halbrand,
Yeah,
Sauron,
yeah,
Anatar, the masterful shapeshifter. I can't believe it. I remember seeing rumours that the actor had been replaced, and you think it makes sense. He's a shapeshifter. They know what he looks like.
yeah.
You know, the elves, they know. Galadriel knew and didn't tell anyone, which still baffles me.
Yeah.
He still went on with making the rings. It's like, oh yeah, Sauron, he's behind making the rings. Let's make them. Like, but
All of this shit is her
it
fault. Everything is Galadriel's fault. And
oh yeah,
Waldrig,
everything.
I guess, as you established earlier, I didn't even think about the One Ring ramifications. I was just thinking about Mordor. But yeah, like he helps create the One
It's
Ring.
crazy,
Technically.
isn't it?
Yeah.
If
No,
you
you're
think
right.
that this is canonical, is it
Canonical.
canon? That's it. If you
Yeah.
think it's canon, that's it. It's baffling, isn't it? And if you think Galadriel had the chance to warn everyone to go, Luke, Sauron's here, he's come, you know, we need to send out God, send out warning to Middle Earth, but she's like, no, I'm not going to tell anyone. I'm not going to tell Elrond. I mean, I can't remember even if she did tell him or not, but I just remember it being secretive. And yeah, we'll go on to Galadriel in a sec because she's got
Oh
more
yeah.
of her
Oh yeah.
bases. But the fact that they had the audacity to go, you know what, we kind of screwed the lore up on the first season with Sauron. Let's try and get that back, but to when I saw it, I thought it was one of those AI photos that someone had done, and they'd taken the mick out of it. My God. And they're taking it. When you see him, he's got the wig.
Yeah.
He looks exactly the same. He's just got a wig and clean shaven and pointy ears. And you see him walk through Eregion, and you're like, oh my God, you're not doing it, are you? He's literally gone back. How is no one recognising him?
Well, this is JD Payne and Patrick McKay for you, because they think they're being smart. And I'm so glad, because everyone I've seen has like pulled it up instantly. Well, he looks exactly the same. If this is a disguise, he's lost the element of disguise because he's still got the same face. You know, it's not like a Clark Kent Superman type situation. I mean, the motherfucker at least puts glasses on, is what I'm saying. You know, he tries, but you don't even have that with Halbrand. Yeah, it's. But if everyone, you know, you, myself, everyone I've seen flags this up, how did that slide with all the producers and the screenwriters and the directors and the actors and everything? Like, no one brought this up. Like, hey, excuse me, sorry, this is disguised, right? Shouldn't we do something with this? It's outstanding. So, on the one hand, it feels like, yeah, we kind of fucked up with Series 1 because we made Sauron just a regular average Joe dude with Halbrand. So now we're trying to do the whole Anatar Lord of Gifts thing, but it's too late. And as you said, like, yeah, the rumours that came out, I think they were like last year, weren't they, that it was going to be a different actor playing Sauron. This is the one opportunity where that would kind of make sense, because he's a shapeshifter and the cat's out of the bag now as Halbrand, so he needs to change it up and come back. So, yeah, they've just already out of the gate with Sauron, they've just fucked up royally, haven't they? But have you seen like the comments on the videos and stuff about the whole wig thing? It's been amazing.
Oh, there's let's have like one wig to rule them all, one wig to hide them, one wig to fool them all, and now they cannot find it. It's the lack of effort. You've got all this budget, at least make it. You can keep the same actor, but come on, at least make his facial features look different. He looks the same. And I think I called him like Axl Rose from like Guns N' Roses. He just absolutely baffling, and they're taking it so serious. And there's one line in the trailer. If you already didn't know, he is Sauron. Yeah. And it's in subtitles, and it's, come on. Are you having a laugh?
And there's lines like this as well, I think, on the back of that. People are saying, like, he's been, like, living among us all this time. And it's like, wasn't that the whole point of Series 1? Yeah, of course he was. Yeah, he was living. But then again, Galadriel never told anyone, did she? So, you know, again, this all comes back to her not telling anyone.
Yeah, I'll try and get up the quote, because it's towards the end, isn't it? Because it's like a frightened woman. Because I know Galadriel says something, and then there's another woman.
Yeah, I couldn't place that voice. I didn't know which character that was meant to be.
Now, I've got a feeling it's Bronwyn, but I've heard people say it's Isildur's sister.
Right.
It's someone who's unrecognisable. Here we go. I think he has been here among us all along. She thinks
he's been here all along.
Like, who... Well, the only interactions we knew is that he went to Numenor, and then he's been to the Southlands, and he's been to Eregion.
Wait, they're not the Southlands anymore, remember? Remember when the little title thing did the Avengers Endgame thing and disintegrated, and then...
Oh, I'm sorry. Apologies for forgetting the title card. Jesus, that was awful. Absolutely awful. And you look at as well at the trailer, and you see Theo, you see... I don't think do we see Bronwyn? I can't even remember if we see her. But
don't think we do. I've heard rumours. This hasn't been confirmed or anything. This is just what I've heard, that her character dies at some point, so I don't know if like the elf character's going to be on some kind of like vengeful quest or something because his lady love's dead. But there's a shot of like Theo crying, and some people think that because she's not in the trailer that she might die. I don't know if that's true or not, but I thought she pulled through,
Right,
didn't she? I don't think she died from the poison. I'm pretty sure she recovered, right?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because she was in. Because they had a sort of a Queen's meeting one there, where you had Muriel. I don't know where I've pulled her name out.
So you remember Muriel? She wasn't in the trailer, actually, was she, Muriel?
No. Although some people have said it's her underwater, but I don't think it is.
No, I
think
thought that
that'll
at
be it.
first, but I think it is someone different. She did, I think, like different hair or whatever. Yeah.
Because you had Bronwyn, Muriel, Galadriel, and then you had Isildur there who was angry and crying. But yeah, she was fine because she was on a stick. She looked like she recovered. So unless they are going to go along the route of poison has gone deep and she's gone worse. But to be fair, they all survived the volcano. So I don't think a poison arrow would do any harm. And when you look at Isildur, and even when I think back, you look at the injuries, they ain't got they've literally got scratches.
Yeah.
Baffling, and you see how close they are. It's a joke. And...
Wait, when you talked about the poison, then did you just say that it's gone too deep? I just know that they're going to use the quote. There are some hurts that go too deep that have taken hold. They're going to do some shit like that because they were quoting the Peter Jackson movies last time. I bet they're going to do that again. Remember when Gandalf in like the last episode, or sorry, we can't call him Gandalf, can we, for legal reasons? The Stranger said like, when in doubt, Nori, always follow your nose. I was just like, oh. And they do the Lurtz thing in the trailer, don't they? With the orc licking the knife.
It's like, do you remember the Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship?
You remember? I've got to show you this picture.
Lurtz?
So like all the comments talking about the wigs. I trust you've seen this wonderful bit of behind the scenes from the Return of the King, where Dominic Monaghan poses as a German interviewer called Hans Jensen with Elijah Wood, and I'm just bringing the graphic up now. It's really small, but I just immediately thought of this to just imagine like he's asking these questions to Sauron. It's like, do you wear wigs? Have you worn wigs? Will you wear wigs? When will you wear wigs?
And I saw a comment as well saying it's like now they want to go with the Alvin hair. It had to be on him.
Yeah,
Like,
he kickstarted the trend. He kickstarted the elven fashion of the long hair. Yeah.
And I know I said in my review like some of the shots looked nice, and like I've just skimmed through it a bit now, the trailer. I'm thinking, for the money, it looks soft, doesn't it? It looks off, and I didn't pick it up at first, but when Galadriel's doing her horse riding again, it looks off. The composition looks off. The background's not matching the speed, the bounce. It's off, and how can you get away with that? And I know some shots are nice, and for the money, every shot should be beautiful. And I don't get why they aren't doing more practical, because a lot of it did look CGI again, and it's probably one of the hopes I have for the new Hunt for Gollum. I want those practical effects, but
yeah, I hope they learn their lesson from the Hobbit trilogy a little bit, and you know, they're not rushing a deadline for this thing. They give the people time to produce it. But I think we talked about that in season 1 for Rings of Power, that the Rings of Power season 1 was shot in New Zealand, and they did not showcase that country at all. Like half the time it looked like they were on like a really small little dinky soundstage, like a not particularly well dressed set. It looked like actors on a little dinky set. As I said, like it didn't feel like they were shooting on location in New Zealand. And you know, there were like a handful of shots, I think, in episode 1 where you saw people walking across a background, but it really didn't feel like they'd filmed it there. And this series onwards is going to be filmed in the UK, because they couldn't shoot in New Zealand. I don't know if it was during like COVID, like they couldn't film there because New Zealand was like really crazy about it, wasn't it, when all that was going down. So, as I say, like on the one hand, it's going to be interesting because in terms of live action adaptations of the Lord of the Rings and Middle Earth stuff, nothing's ever been filmed outside of New Zealand, really. I'm not counting like, you know, like the fucking Swedish Sagan on Ringen and all that stuff. Everything's been New Zealand. We know Middle Earth as New Zealand, but now it's like, okay, no, we're going to the UK and filming it all here. So on the one hand, it's cool because it'll be nice to see, well, let's see what the UK can bring to the table visually in terms of Middle Earth, but yeah, every other time it's just like a really bad green screen, isn't it? Or as you say, like the compositing of the shot feels a little bit off, like the lighting doesn't match, and yeah, it feels very small scale despite the fact that, I mean, I can't even remember what the budget for this thing was. I know it's one of the most expensive TV shows ever made, and especially when you compare the budget of this to what the budget was for Peter Jackson's trilogy, not even just one film, but the whole trilogy. It's insane. It's absolutely crazy.
Sorry if I sniggered. I saw a comment that made me laugh. Someone put they're using Wolverhampton for Mordor.
Hang on, where's this? Oh yeah, they use.
You're not wrong there.
If you know, you know. Actually, yeah, let's go back through some of these comments. Wow, actually, a lot have piled up. My God. Okay, working from the top then. Carl Roberts says, unrelated, but I've started the Lord of the Rings walking challenge. Good man. Let me know which route you're doing. I'm guessing you're on the Shire, so you have to do that. But when you get to Challenge 2, you can either choose to do the shorter one or the longer one. The medals are very nice, though, so good luck to you in your journey, and I might see you in the community if you post anything. Stormbringer says, hello, gentlemen. Are these the same writers from Season 1? I'm afraid so, yes. So, you know, I think that speaks for itself, really, doesn't it? Bath Time says, oh my God, Chris, I can't wait to hear about your thoughts on this and Too Fast 2 Gollum. Oh, there was I'm going to see if I can find... I probably won't be able to. Someone tagged me in it the other day, and it was a Fast and Furious graphic of all of like the 10 or 11 movies, whatever they've done, Lord of the Rings related. I really hope I can still bring it up on my notifications because the names were glorious. Yes, okay. Here we go. I'm going to try
into our Russian Hobbit.
So it's like that, and it's got all of the like Lord of the Rings characters. And the titles, you've got The Lord of the Rings, Two Lord, Two Rings, The Lord of the Rings, Rune Drift. I thought that was a nice touch. Cool. Lord and Rings, Lord 5, Lord and Ring 6, Ring 7, The Fate of the Fellowship. That's a pretty fucking cool title, actually. I like that.
Yeah, that's
And
good.
you've got The Lord of the Rings presents Legolas and Gimli. I would fucking watch that shit. And you've got L9, The Ring Saga, and then Lord X, which sounds really cool. All of those are going to be better than Rings of Power, and those aren't even real movies.
100%.
Stormbringer says
we
the
still
memes...
need to watch.
Oh, go on, sorry.
Oh, sorry, mate. There's a little lag. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
We still have to venture into the Russian Hobbit.
We do, yes.
It's still on YouTube. I don't know if we need it translated. But
no, fuck it. We'll just go with it. We know the story. We'll make up our own words for it. I'm gonna have to be careful with that though, because I got copyright struck to hell and back for Sagan on Ringen when I did the watch along of that. I think I still have like a strike on my channel, and I think 3 strikes and you're out, right? I thought, oh shit, I bet not. And I don't want to piss off Russia. You know what those guys are like. So.
Oh, I wonder if Twitch might be a better output.
Oh, that's a good shout, maybe.
I don't... That's baffling. Like, why would they go, hold on, let's strike the channel for this? And yeah, it is 3 strikes and out.
It's because we were losing our minds over baffling. Tom Bombadil. We were like, oh my God, like a live action adaptation that actually does Tom Bombadil. This is crazy. Although I've heard rumours, only rumours mind, that Tom Bombadil is
Mm.
going to be in season 2 of Rings of Power.
Ugh.
Why? I don't fucking know. We've got Barrow-wights apparently, and they shouldn't even be around yet, so maybe we'll get good old Tom. Oh god, that wouldn't actually make the series any better. I must admit, what's your opinion on Tom Bombadil? Are you a fan? Are you not a fan? Are you indifferent?
Reading the books, it was probably my my least favorite part. I was happy that it went, because there's a lot of contradictions. Like, he's so powerful, and when you give someone all that power, it's like, I know he has his own autonomy and doesn't want to get involved, and it's just a little bit too much, I'd say. And I think they made the right call keeping him out of the show, of the movie. Sorry.
Because I just think, if we get to that scene where Galadriel's like, or ready yourselves, or arm yourselves, whatever she says when they're all in the ring, and they've got the Barrow-wights, and I'm just hating life, thinking, like, the Barrow-wights shouldn't be here, like, the Witch King of Angmar sends them, and the Nine haven't even been created yet, what are you doing? The one thing that will make that even worse is if I just hear, hey ho, Derry do, Tom Bombadil, I'll be like, oh, fuck! Like...
Look, he's here. He's here. I saw something saying the other day that, the stranger Gandalf, that he's gonna be Tom Bombadil, because of they've got that thingy accent. He's got that Bristol accent going, and
he's in Rune though,
that
isn't
would
he?
be
He's in like the deserts of Rune. How's he gonna get himself back over to?
Yeah, he's in the good, the bad, the ugly, isn't he? He's gone up to that territory.
Yeah, he is. I
mean, I don't know about you. When I saw the photo, the video of him in the trailer, it just reminded me of Monty Python in the Life of Brian.
Yes, yeah.
Just the setting, just how he looks. He had that stick. He looks like he's doing a dance. He just stabs it down on the ground, and then I'm guessing that's Nori. See, I don't know where I'm pulling them from. You got Nori, she's flying somehow, and it'll be his fault. She'll go too close to him, and it's his fault.
Did female Sam go with Nori, or was it just Nori and Gandalf? I couldn't even remember.
Oh.
Was there a moment where she was like, "I'm coming too," and like she like waddles after female Frodo? I couldn't remember.
It's like boom, boom, boom. No. Jeez, no wonder the Barrow-wights had come.
Drums in the deep.
Mate, what is her name?
I can't remember. I remember Nori, and I only remember Nori because they cliffed the name off one of the dwarfs from The Hobbit. I don't remember what female Sam's called. I just remember aggressively stuffing her face with like blueberries or something at one part.
Oh, don't. And then you had that sequence of there's wolves nearby, and that came to nothing.
Yeah,
you see, they had the.
It's all coming back.
It's all coming back. It's PTSD. This. You got the warg that's like a fucking pug. Sorry, sorry for swearing.
No, you go for it, man. I swear like a trooper. That looked a bit like when I look at the conceptual design for this show, and they've got John Howe working on it, and all I can imagine is like John Howe is creating all of this like epic shit that they're just turning down and saying, no, make it on the cheap, do this instead. Because there is no way on God's earth he would have created that warg. Like, what were they thinking with that? It looked like a fucking rabid chihuahua. I'm like, this isn't... So out of the 3 live-action adaptations of wargs that we've seen, Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, and by extension Return of the King, the ones from The Hobbit, and then this one from Rings of Power, how would you rank those from like worst to best, I guess?
Ooh, I'd say... So for the Return of the King, I can... Oh, it's a tough one. Well, I definitely know who's bottom.
Yes.
So, Rings of Power is definitely bottom. I mean, and there's still people saying that that looked good. It didn't.
No.
Looks horrible. I think then it goes The Hobbit. They looked a bit too. They looked like werewolves. They didn't look. They didn't look great, but still better than Rings of Power. And then I'll probably go Two Towers, and then Return of the King.
Yeah.
I think when you look at them, they don't stand out, do they? It's like, it's CGI, because obviously there's no wargs that exist. But it's still, as a young person, as a child growing up, you're like, oh, look at that creature. Can you imagine being a child now and you look at the Rings of Power, you think, what's that? That's awful. You think it's something out of a game. It's awful. Absolutely awful. Yeah. Where would you rank them?
Oh, okay, well, you know what's on the bottom. Rings of Power, that goes without saying. Then I'm kind of torn, because the ones in Two Towers are really cool. They're kind of like a bear hyena thing, and even when you watch it now, like, I think the effects hold up really well with how it's integrated with like the film and everything. Like, they feel real. The bit where Gimli just throws himself off the horse, he goes like, ah, boom, like, and gets on the ground. And that one kind of like looks up, the bring your pretty face on my axe. That shot where it looks up at him looks like a real fucking creature. Like, it's so well done. But I think in terms of book description, I think the ones from The Hobbit probably are closer, because I think they are just meant to be wolf-like. And I think sort of like their proportions and how they look in The Hobbit is probably closer to the book. But in terms of visuals, what I like the most, it's probably the ones from The Lord of the Rings. I think they looked a bit cartoonish in the Hobbit films, maybe a little bit, as did a lot of things, in all fairness. But yeah, even both of those are just a dance. Like, even the Hobbit ones are like way above the Rings of Power, as everything is really. Just gonna get a few comments. Sorry, Bath Time.
Yeah.
Oh, Bath Time. I think this is about you. He says, "Wait, is this the guy that was going to make the Waldrick video? The very same." And I still hope. I still live in hope.
Right. So, I've got an update on that.
Okay.
Unfortunately, all the hard work that I did accidentally got deleted.
Oh no!
So I've got to start it again. I put a clip on my Instagram I did the have you ever seen Full Metal? Is it Full Metal Jacket?
Full Metal Jacket, yeah.
You know, with the drill sergeant, and when he's searching through the boxes, and he finds the Jolly Donut. So I cropped Waldrick's head on the drill sergeant and had Theo standing on the box, and then they open the box and it's got that little sword hilt, and it works well. And that's the only clip I've got of it.
Oh,
I did a load of it. I did a load, and I need to jump back on it. And I really want to make a Waldrick appreciation video. It's something I want to do, and I want to make it sarcastic, but I don't want to make it too sarcastic, so that I want to see if people believe it.
Yeah. Well, the time is now. With season 2 coming out, the time is now. Let's get it going. I want to see it. Referring to that person that gets, I guess it's like the human sacrifice, isn't it, to the Kraken or whatever it is in the trailer. Bath Time says it's Ariel under the sea. It's entirely possible. Maybe it'll be a musical. Bath Time says, I was overjoyed we didn't see any Half-Foots and Aloran. Are they in season 2? Well, we did. We did see Nori, as we mentioned, and Gandalf's in there too. He's just doing some like cool staff. It's not even cool, is it? Really, he's just sort of like sticking the staff in the ground and sending a tornado. I don't even know what he's doing. Are they going to ignore that Galadriel, etc., can see both the spiritual and physical forms of a Maiar for Sauron again? Probably. I don't think any of the writers have read any of the lore in this. As I mentioned, like if the Barrow-wights are in there, which I think it's probably a good chance that they are Barrow-wights, they should not be around at all. They shouldn't even be a thing. They shouldn't even be a glint in the Witch King's eye at this point. So, and then Bath Time says, weren't all of Sir Christopher Lee's scenes in The Hobbit filmed at Pinewood? Yeah, he was. My God, he was frail when those Hobbit films came out. I felt so bad. So he couldn't fly. But you know what? I actually thought they integrated him pretty goddamn well in those films, I will say. noticeably de-aged, but in terms of the integration, I thought it worked fine. I appreciated what they were trying to do with it. Okay, we'll get to the rest of the comments in just a second. Let's continue. So we've talked about Halbrand and the crippling disappointment that Halbrand is. It's interesting. He does like the little. I compared him to Elsa from Frozen at the very end. It seems like he just does a bit of magic and turns what I assume is Celebrimbor's forge into. Some people are saying Barad-dûr. I don't think it's Barad-dûr because Mordor's already been created and that'd be in that land. So I don't know what it's gonna be. It looks like some evil. It looks like the White Witch's fortress from Narnia or something. That's the only way I can describe it.
Oh yeah, it does. Yeah, I'm just trying to get the trailer up because let's have a look.
I mean, that could have just been created for the trailer, I suppose. But there's a lot of effects work going on in it, so I assume that is probably going to be in the show.
You know what? I reckon that will be Barad-dûr. I reckon it is. And it shouldn't be. Because if you look, it's very mountainous. It's got mountain ranges. It's in the middle of nowhere. I reckon that is. I think that'll be it.
It's not a Region, is it? Where was Celebrimbor? That was a Region, right?
Yeah. Let's have a look. I reckon the effect is done for the trailer. Because I can't see how they're going to integrate that in. Because you've got the title sequence with it. So I reckon that's done for an effect. I'll be baffled if that is in.
I think you do see that. So the bit where he first appears, and you mentioned it in your video, where it's the Eye of Sauron iconography when it looks like Anatar, or I'm just going to call him Halbrand because that's basically what he is. When Halbrand walks in, and you got that like kind of Eye of Sauron glow, then you see that same shot later in the trailer with Celebrimbor, and there's a bunch of rubble around him. So maybe that like hand thing is him like bringing some like brickwork down in the same room rather than doing the whole Elsa from Frozen thing, I guess. Because they do that earlier on, don't they? Like, they're talking about Sauron, and then it cuts to Prince Durin, and he's like, an ancient evil has returned. And how it looks like in the trailer, you think, like, oh, he's talking about Sauron. It's like, well, no, he's probably talking about the Balrog. It's how the trailer's been edited together.
I mean, that Balrog's not meant to wake up for 1,000 years.
I know.
So,
do you remember they put the Balrog in the original trailer for Series 1? And it shows up as just like a Do you remember the Balrog? Like it's in like 10 seconds, isn't it? If that, at the end of an episode.
But you see Khazak Doom falling apart, don't you? Now I don't know if that is just because they are mining for the Mithril that has magical healing powers. Which I forgot about that.
Yeah.
And you actually see in the trailer, you can see trees getting healed.
Oh, no.
When you got the 3 Elven rings, and you can see it, the trees healing in the background. I don't know whether those shots are to do with that their infrastructure is unstable now, or if they are going to tease that those Slim Lady is going to set off a load of moths and it's going to set off the Balrog. I don't know. It's the Rings of Power. Anything could happen.
I forgot people were calling her Slim Lady until I watched your video again. I was like, oh yeah, they were doing the whole Eminem thing, weren't they, with her character? What were they? But like, didn't they turn into ring wraiths at the end? Like, when they were dying, they turn into the spectral Weathertop versions of the ring wraiths? But they're not ring wraiths, but they're kind of Istari, but they're not Istari because there's only 5 Istari, and like, yeah, what were they? I'm really confused.
I don't even think Amazon know what they are. I think they've just kind of left it out there to think, oh, you interpret it the way that you want to interpret it. But, you know, the ring wraiths were corrupted by rings. And they ain't made no rings yet. So I honestly think that it's their nod of saying it is, but we're not going to say they are.
Yeah.
But it is. You saw the way that they were depicted at the end when you saw like the skeletons and all the mystical stuff that they're doing. I reckon this is their version, but they can never say. I mean, they might as well say it now because they're not going to gain any fans. To be honest, they might as well just come out with it.
I do wonder, like, are most people just watching this kind of like how we're doing, like, ironically, out of morbid curiosity to see what they're going to do with it? Because it is kind of at that level for me. Like, on the one hand, I'm like, they are destroying a great man's legacy, and it breaks my damn heart to see that this is actually getting made. This is the reality we're in. But then the other part of me is like, they think they're being so intellectual with this, like, from the writing, and like they're genuinely proud of this product. Do you remember some of the I forgot even some of the lines of dialogue from the last series? It was like they're trying to be like all Tolkien-esque with their prose and how they say things, and you know, Galadriel, do you know why a boat floats and a rock does not? And then there's like a line about I think Gil-galad says it, and it's like, it is like the small raindrops cascading over a spoiled carcass. I'm like, what are you fucking talking about? Like, this is. But you can imagine the writers going, "Oh no, this sounds good. This, you know, it's really waffly and wordy, and yeah."
Here you go. Here's the top 10 best Rings of Power quotes from comic book resources.
Go on.
So the top one is, there can be no trust between hammer and rock. Fuck it, really creative that. Everyone, each of us, needs to decide who we shall be. It's all this spiritual stuff in it. It's like, it really gets you thinking that.
Yeah.
Beauty has great power to heal the soul.
Ugh.
Hope is never mere, even when it is meager. What?
What the fuck? I don't even remember that one.
There is no secret weapon worth concealing with deception. What?
What? Of course it is. What?
Right, let me get it. Right, I've had to click on the website for the last 5.
Oh, just real quick. Bath Time says, "Give it to me raw" is the best quote. I agree. That is still my favorite. Give me the meat and give it to me raw, or whatever it was.
I can't believe they put that in. Oh, it's actually right. Okay, we're gonna play a little game if that's okay.
Okay, absolutely. Let's do it. Yep.
Right, because they've got the characters who said the quote. So right. I'll go from the top.
Okay.
And I want you to guess. Okay, so there can be no trust between hammer and rock.
Okay, well, I'm guessing that's Prince Durin, right?
Is that your final guess?
It is, but I feel like I'm going to be fucked because, as I said at the beginning of the stream, I can't even remember the character's name, so I'll do my best. But yes. Yeah, I'm going to say... Yeah, I'm going to say Prince Durin.
Also, we got a comment saying, is that meant to be Disa? I can't believe I remembered it.
Did you say Desiree?
The Desiree area, the first female dwarf that has been seen. Baffling. Have you seen that comment, by the way?
Which one, sorry?
The first from the actress who plays Disa.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, you're missing out. I need to get it up. I think she said something like, this is the first dwarf to be seen, dwarf of colour.
Dwarf of colour, yeah.
It's like,
you know, there's a reason for that. Care. Yeah, there's a reason for that.
It's baffling.
I think she even said that this is the first female dwarf we've ever seen as well. I'm like, nah. You see some in The Hobbit. They don't get focused on a lot, but you do see some. At the very beginning of An Unexpected Journey, they're there. They're in Dale.
Do you know what's crazy as well? I don't even think she was the worst. I think she was...
No.
And I'm not saying it's good, but I think she was one of the meh parts of last season, from what I can remember.
The dwarven parts for me, and to say the strongest is still not a compliment, because it's still awful. Oh, do you remember they had like little demon children, but it was almost like they couldn't show children on screen, so they were just running around with like helmets on, and they were kind of in the background, and it was really weird. I remember that.
Oh, because what wasn't one of the helmets the Hurin's helmet
Oh God, I think
from
you might be right. Like the dragon
the
helm.
children of yeah. I got a feeling it was.
I can't even remember if that is. If that is.
You know what? If we get when we review it, each episode should be the Rings of Power. Can't remember.
I literally feel like I've been hit with the flashy thing from Men in Black. That's how I feel. It's just all gone.
It's just oh man, what a show! Right, are you locking in?
Prince yes, sorry, more okay. Was I correct by the way with Prince Doran?
You are incorrect. It is King Durin the Third.
Oh, sorry, the other Duran in the show.
The other Durin, that geezer. Right. So the next one. So we're none for none. Everyone, each of us, needs to decide who we shall be.
Oh, such a vacuous line. Give it to me again. Give me the meat and give it to me raw one more time.
Everyone, each of us. That doesn't even.
I know.
Wow.
I know.
Because there's a comma. Literally, everyone, each of us, needs to decide who we shall be.
It's such a redundant line, isn't it? Yeah, people are playing at home. Bath Time thinks it's Lenny Henry. I need to decide who we shall be. Oh, I kind of want to say Elrond, but I think Galadriel would be more of an angry line, like a go get 'em kind of line. Whereas that's like a really wimpy line, so I'm going to say Elrond.
You're going for Elrond?
I'm going to say Elrond. I can't even remember the circumstance where he would have said that, because he probably didn't say it, but yeah, I'm going to lock in Elrond. Why not?
It is, in fact, Queen Regent Muriel.
Oh, okay. Bath Time's second guess was Galadriel's brother. No, that's... His absolute zinger was the line about the boats and the rocks. We'll probably get to that one.
Right, here's one, and I expect... No, I'm not going to give it away. I was going to give you a clue then. I'm not going to give it. Beauty has great power to heal the soul.
Fuck me. Beauty has great power to heal... Okay. Who would say that? Beauty...
This just reminds me of, like... You know, like the random... like post on like Pinterest where you just get any quotes, just stick it on, let's do our research. Tolkien's lore, let's some really nice quotes.
Wait, so what was it? Beauty has the power to heal the soul, did you say?
Yes.
Beauty has the power to heal the soul. Yeah, I'm gonna say like Bronwyn maybe. It sounds like something a female character would say. Here's where you tell me it's like Gil-galad or something, or it's like one of the most machismo characters in Middle-earth. But no, I'm going to lock in Bronwyn for that one, I think.
Oh, close. It was Arondir.
Who was that the name of the elf?
Who's that? Exactly.
Oh, okay. It's that dude.
I was going to say, it is a clue. You won't know the name, but that could be an array of people.
Could you just hear like the dial-up sound effect in my head with my expression then? Like, like it's trying to remember who Arondir is.
Arondir? Who's that?
Arondir.
Yeah, that is our grumpy elf. I'll tell you what, I thought with the Rings of Power, for peacetime, everyone is miserable.
Yeah.
This is like the great peace.
This is as good as it gets.
Here you go. I think you might get this one.
Go on.
Hope is never mere, even when it is meagre.
Oh, fuck. See, by you saying that, I kind of want to say an obvious one like Galadriel. Hope, but she was never very inspired. She never really inspired courage in anyone, did she? The closest she came to that was teaching some soldiers how to stab, twist, and gut. You know, because they haven't been doing that their entire fighting career.
How are they training? Right, lads. Can you imagine the pre-meeting? It's like, right, lads, we got High Queen, High Knight Galadriel here. She's gonna teach you some really good moves. Like, learn from her. Please, just listen to her. Take it all in. Right then, guys. First thing you need to do is stab, twist, and gut. I'll be like, right, I'm going. Oh, it's like the first one to be captain is the one who cuts me. It's like, Jesus, Galadriel, calm yourself down.
Oh, then she like, didn't she like dual wield with two swords, and there's like this really embarrassing fight in a courtyard?
Well, she's got two. She's firing two arrows, isn't she? In this one,
Oh,
two
yeah.
fire eye flaming arrows.
I'm gonna lock Galadriel in for the quote. I think I'm settled on Galadriel for that one.
I'm sorry, it's wrong again.
Oh.
It is Gil-galad.
Oh God. Okay.
Right, so we're not doing great.
No, we're doing abysmally. You know, all
This
these lines
does not
should clearly
even-
stay with me. You know, like the Lord of the Rings film trilogy ones, the ones that really matter.
You know, I was gonna say, like, you do a comparison. It's
Oh,
like,
God,
when
yeah.
did it came out? 20 years ago, over 20 years, and you can be like, okay, that's Theoden, that's Aragorn. You know, with this, anyone could have said this next one. There's no secret we're concealing with deception. How's that in your top 10 quotes?
There's no secret worth concealing with deception. Oh, would Halbrand have said that? Would they have been really on the nose with that? And it's just like, because he's... Yeah, I'm going to say Halbrand / Sauron for that one.
You know what? When I
Bath Time
first
agrees
saw
with
it-
me as well. He's saying Sauron too.
Well, Bath Time, I'm sorry, you're both wrong.
Oh, God
Now,
damn it, Bath Time.
I would have thought that sounds like a sound quote.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it's Elrond.
Oh, okay.
I don't even know. Is that referring to when he found out about Mithril, when he swore an oath that he would never say it to anybody,
But
and
then
then
basically
he goes
does.
and tells Gil-galad, and then tells Durin that he's told Gil-galad, and Durin's fine with it. It's absolutely baffling.
That'd be
Right,
the only
we're not-
time that I could think. Yeah, it's just such a. All of these are just such nothing lines. Like you could really maybe apart from like the rock and the anvil one because that's that's very dwarven. But all of these other ones just throw a dart at a board.
Right. There's this one, but there's one after it where it's number 4 in the list. And I
Okay.
won't say it now, but
Okay.
gosh. Right, so this next one. An avalanche can start with 1 stone.
Fuck me. Oh god. Okay, it's stone related. Immediately I'm thinking dwarves. I said Prince Doran at first, and sorry, it was King Doran, so I'm gonna say Prince Doran for this one.
Do you want a clue?
Sure. Am I gonna know this character? But yeah, go for it.
Do not think of it logically.
Oh, okay. That's a good thing. Oh, sorry, I forgot we're talking about Rings of Power. Of course, no, you're right. Right. What is it? Even the smallest stone can change the course of the future. What was the quote? Sorry.
An avalanche can start with 1 stone, and I'll give you another clue. Loot to Bath Time for help.
Numenor. Okay, so I mean he's saying Ar-Pharazôn, which he's probably right. I'm gonna say Elendil. I'm gonna go Elendil on that one.
Wow, it's 1-0 to Bath Time because it is
damn it.
Ar-Pharazôn.
Okay, me and you, Bath Time. Here we go. You're on. Let's do it.
Now, this next one. Who is writing for this website? I don't know if they're joking,
Must be.
but I kid you not, this is number 4.
Okay.
And I'm not joking. I killed Sauron.
What? I killed Sauron.
Yeah, you put that up there with the for Frodo and
Yeah. I killed Sauron. Who comes close to killing? I killed Sauron. I mean, I kind of want to say like Isildur, but he hasn't done that yet. So I killed Sauron. Bath Time says Adar or whatever it's called, the goth orc. Yeah, that's a good description. Uncle Benjen orc. I killed Sauron. Oh wait, fuck yeah, no, I think it might be him. Yeah, oh my god, that came back in like a flash. Yeah, because they were trying to do some misdirection kind of bullshit, weren't they? But I don't know if I can take credit for that one because I wouldn't have even thought of that until Bath Time said it. So yeah, I'm gonna say no. Fuck it. I'm gonna say Adar. But if it is correct, give the point to Bath Time.
It is correct.
Okay.
It is Adar. And
Okay.
have you heard that there's rumoured that there's going to be a scene in the show of his forming? I think I do you know the channel? I think it's the Fellowship of Fans.
Oh yeah.
So I saw a photo on there, and there's set photos of him as Adar, like just like turning. So we're gonna get that.
Is that going to be what
which...
the alien symbiote is in the trailer? The Venom.
I'll tell you what, because I thought it was going to be like a new creature that they formed, and then I saw someone's video saying that it's probably Sauron shapeshifting, and I thought, if he's put that much effort in to dye his hair blonde and get pointed ears, then he's doing it wrong. Because he looks like he's going to be doing like the American Werewolf in London transformation just for a bit of hair dye. It's like, come on. Awful. Right.
Oh, Bath Time says that we both get points. Okay. 2-1 then. 2-1.
2-1.
That's very gracious of you.
Go.
Thank you, Bath Time. I appreciate that.
Now, this comment is rich. I'll say that. So, nothing is evil in the beginning.
Oh, what the fuck? Nothing is evil in the beginning. Right, I'm not going to look at the comments right now. I don't want Bath Time to influence my opinion.
I mean, try telling that to Ungoliant.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're not evil.
Give me the quote one more time.
Nothing is evil in the beginning.
Nothing is evil in the beginning. Oh, I'm trying to think of some characters that we haven't said. What could that be referring to? Nothing is evil. Who surrounds themselves with like evil characters in the show? We've had the elf guy. We haven't had Galadriel yet, but they're probably saving that for like number 1 or something. It wouldn't be the stranger because he only says like a handful of words. It wouldn't be one of the hobbits because they don't know what evil is. Nothing is evil in the beginning. Have we had Bronwyn? I'm gonna say Bronwyn. If yeah, I think I've mentioned her, but I don't think we've had a quote from her yet, right?
We haven't had a quote from her.
I'm gonna go for Bronwyn. There we go. Locking it in.
What's Bath Time going for?
Bath Time says fake Gandalf.
Ooh, both wrong.
Ooh, okay.
It is Galadriel.
Oh, fuck.
And it is the very first line in the Rings of Power.
Oh, is where they try and do the prologue sequence thing. Which has the only cool shot that I kind of dig in the whole show. Is where you see Sauron in front of his legions, like, holding the spear. I'm like, that will make a cool wallpaper. That's it. That's all I got.
Yeah. But like, I can't have that now because I know it's associated with them. The Rings of Power. It's like it's good, but it's like it's like a bad taste in your mouth. Now this next one is number 2, by the way. So it is this. Believe it or not, this website is full of adverts. So it's like you're dodging every advert you can. So the next one is, who will stand with me? I'll repeat that. Who will stand with me?
Okay, that's going to be like some kind of like army thing. So we've had Elrond, it's not going to be him. Elendil, maybe? Isildur was a complete wimp in this show, so I don't think it would be him. Who will stand with me? Yeah, I'm going to go Elendil, I think. Bath Time says Bronwyn.
It is Bronwyn.
Oh, for fuck's sake, god damn it. Bath Time, how do you know the Rings of Power so well?
I know, yeah.
It's secretly your favourite show, isn't it, Bath Time? Guarantee. Watches it every night, this lad.
The memories of Bronwyn are really just struggling and dirty. And she's got makeup on and looking great.
Yeah.
And somehow she's the leader and decides, you know what, let's not defend ourselves in the fort. Let's go to an open field.
Oh, yeah, they do.
Let's go to an open village.
I forgot that. Yeah, they do.
Oh,
I just doesn't she have like a scuffle with an orc and she like kills the orc in like I remember her like coming into a tavern and like sticking a severed head of an orc on the table. That's like one of the only shots I remember.
Yeah. And it's like, we're leaving, and then everyone goes, oh god. Then you had that old debacle where Theo was captured and he's running. I think Alfman saves him, and then out of nowhere Bronwyn just happened to find them in the woods, the exact same spot, met up, and then awful.
Bath Time says Waldrick
I...
forever, and then Bath Time says she did some speech outside of the tower that was incredibly stupid. Yeah, that sounds about right for this show.
Can I just quickly, actually no, I'll make a note of it. We'll finish the quiz, and then I need to show you something.
Okay.
Alright, sorry about that. I'll just make a note. Okay, so are you ready for number one? What are the points? 3-1.
I'm trying to think which characters we haven't seen yet, but yeah, so it's not going to be Galadriel, I don't think. Let's go for it.
Right, so it's 3-1 in points, as far as I know. But I'm going to be generous. Okay. This next point is worth triple.
Oh, okay.
And it's the first person to say it.
Bath Time says, it's got to be Give It To Me Raw. Okay, here we go. Okay, Bath Time, you ready? There better not be any lag between us. Okay, I'm ready.
Right. If we didn't do everything we weren't supposed to, we'd hardly do anything at all.
I'm going to say Nori. I'm going to say Nori on that one.
Oh.
It sounds like if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. Oh, Bath Time says Lenny Henry. Do you remember when Lenny Henry was doing that like conga line? It's like, nobody goes off road and nobody gets left behind.
No one wanders alone. Soon as someone gets crippled, you're gone.
Yeah, fuck them.
It's like turned on full-on Soviet Russia here. It's like, you're gone, out. Right, we've locked them in. And I'll tell you this.
I'm hearing some like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire music going on in my head right now.
One of you is right. Ooh.
Oh, watch the viewing figures go up right now. This is getting tense right now. Ooh.
This is tense. So the winner is Nori.
Yes. Wait, I broke even with Bath Time, right?
It was triple points.
Oh, triple point.
So I think Bath Time had 3. So.
Oh, okay. So I get 4. Okay, Bath Time. You shouldn't have given me that point for.
Naughty Bath Time.
I'm gonna say the real winner here is obviously me because I got more points, but the real winner spiritually is Bath Time because he knows his Rings of Power shit.
Yeah,
it's fun. I cannot believe I've lost a Rings of Power quiz all-time low.
Right, there was two things I wanted to say. The first thing is, can you pull up the trailer for me and get up the shot of that orc that looks like Lurtz?
I can do. Yep, bear with me a second. I have to jump through a few more hoops on here now. We want window capture, and we want that. Okay. That should be on screen. Why is that not on screen? Oh no, maybe I can't bring it up. Let me try. I did it the other day. Why is it not working now? Right, hang on. Let me close that off. I'm gonna add it back in. Oh, this is so much easier to do on the old streaming thing I used to use. Right, add source option, Google. There we go. Okay, cool. Let me close that down and. Sake. Talk amongst yourselves.
Okay, so, Bath Time, how long have you been the Rings of Power Season 1 fan?
And we want that orc licking the knife. Whereabouts does that come in?
Shot.
Is it during like the crazy montage?
Yes, I think it's towards the end.
There we go. There we go. Hang on. Oh, right before them. There we go.
Right. Do you notice anything about it?
Do I notice anything about it? See, I'm looking for stuff in the background now, and all I'm seeing is trebuchet, so I think it's something that's more in my face that I'm looking at. No, I'm not seeing anything particularly out of the ordinary. I'm waiting for you to point something really obvious out to me right now.
Have you noticed what time of day it is?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's kind of... It looks a little bit overcast, so I might allow it.
You're gonna no. We can't allow that.
I mean... The Hobbit had them in the daylight all the time, you know? You had bits of the orcs in the Two Towers showing up in daytime. You know, when like the Uruk-hai are running, it's like... You're late. Our master grows impatient. He wants the Shire Rats now. That was technically daytime a little bit as well.
Because the thing for me is, I remember in season 1 of the Rings of Power, and they all in the overcast, they all had those cloths on, didn't they? They all had that.
That's right.
Like snake skin. Even like when it was overcast, they were burning. I think this geezer's out here looking nice, and he's got sunlight on him. He's not even burning.
It looks overcast enough where I'd allow it. Like if the clouds or the smoke or whatever's covering it has like covered the sun a little bit, I'll allow that. But yeah, if the sun is shining high and bright in that scene when we see the final scene, then yeah, they fucked up because they were wearing like cowls, weren't they, to block out the sun.
Just look at that ratio.
Oh, I know. I got to bring it back up just for that. Look at that. Oof. And it's going up. I mean, when was the last time that you looked at the ratio?
I looked at it, I think it was yesterday, I think it was.
And you said it was 200 something, right? So in a day, the dislikes have doubled.
Yeah, it was like 280.
Wow.
That's not good.
I think it could get to... well, it's definitely on its way to like 500, isn't it? I reckon it could probably get to like over 1,000. Sorry, over 10,000. Sorry.
That's mad, isn't it? 500,000, nearly 500,000 people.
It'll get there. I definitely think it will.
Well, it reminds me a little bit of when you had the Game of Thrones season 8 petition, and it just snowballed. And that got over, I think, like 1 million. That's baffling.
But at least HBO went, you know, we're not going to redo season 8, but here, have this kind of cool prequel series that's well made. We're sorry.
we're sorry. That reminded me of. Have you ever seen the South Park bit where it's like, "We're sorry,
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
sorry."
Uh,
the I pulled up. I managed to find the budget. So, but I've done a combined budget of season 1 and season 2
mm.
for the Rings of Power, and then I've done a combined budget of the Lord of the Rings trilogy. So
Now, is this adjusted for inflation at all, or is this just like what the figures were back in the day?
Oh no, this is just the figures
Okay.
from the back of the day. So the Lord of the Rings budget is. Do you want to guess?
It's really fucking low, isn't it? Is it like I want to say it's like 200 and something million, isn't it, for 3 films? I remember reading it and thinking, like, how can you make 3 films out of that? I thought it was like really, really low.
It is 281.
Yeah, yeah.
Which that's outstanding, isn't it? That
some films nowadays have bigger budgets than that.
I know that it's absolutely crazy.
I think it wasn't the Marvels like at least 3 times that, maybe even 4 times that. It was ridiculous, wasn't it? They spent a shit ton of money on that. It was like 800 mil before it would even break even.
Wow.
For the Marvels.
Really?
Yeah, something like that, I think, yeah. Yeah.
And what was it box office?
Oh, the Marvels, Christ, that's it was.
It did bad, didn't it?
Did abysmally, yeah. It was their first outright like proper flop, I think it was.
Oh, 200.
So they say budget on here was 274 mil. But I've seen a lot of. I mean, then you've got like marketing and everything like that, which they usually say is double. But there was like reshoots on that film to hell and back. Like I've heard rumors that it could be up like near 700, 800 million, and it made 206. So, yeah.
Ooh.
Not good. Not good at all.
A loss. Do you want to guess how much the Rings of Power was for 2 seasons?
Now, I get mixed up between the budget for the actual show and how much they paid to acquire the rights to it. Oh God, I want to say it's going to be over $1 billion. I'm going to say 1.2 billion for 2 seasons combined.
Well, actually, let's have a look. Ooh.
Might be a bit too much there, maybe.
Right, I have miscalculated this one. Okay, we'll do it for 1 season.
Okay. 1 season, I will say. Yeah, no, I'll say $1 billion then. I'll say a square. Oh no, 800 mil. Oh no, because I said that's 1 film. No, fuck that noise. 1.5 bill. Locking that in. 1.5 bill.
So, according to Screen Rant, so initially the show's first season was supposed to cost roughly 100 to 150 million.
Okay.
But the finished product ended up being 465 million.
Oh, okay.
So they ballooned it.
Yeah.
The budget.
But you don't see any of that on screen, as we said earlier. Like the CGI doesn't look particularly great. The costumes look atrocious. Do you remember like Elendil's man boob, Numenorian armor?
Oh gosh.
Like, you don't see any of it on screen.
You've hit the nail on the head. Where's that money gone?
Like they've embezzled it somewhere. Like they must have done.
Because I can't remember it. I can't remember it being marketed that well.
Well, season 2 certainly hasn't been. I know that. What, we're like 2-ish months away, 3 months away. We've had like a single trailer for the Lord of the Rings show on Amazon. It's
yeah, this is their masterpiece. This is their banker.
But they've locked him for 5 seasons, haven't they? Is that like contractual? Is that we can't escape that? We've got to make 5 seasons, or is that they've put 5 seasons on the table, but they could just retract that and just cancel that whenever they want to?
I reckon they can because I think they've not long confirmed season 3.
Right.
So I think that's a rough estimate of, here's the guidelines. But because how many seasons was that Willow show meant to have had? Because they
Oh
canned
God.
that, didn't they, fairly
Yeah.
quickly?
Yeah, Disney Plus have deleted that off. Within a year, they deleted that off their streaming service. Like, you can't watch that. The only way to watch that show is to pirate it. I don't know how many
Wow.
seasons that was meant to be though. But what I thought was if they've locked actors into contracts to say we want you for 5 seasons, I don't know if the actors if they choose not to do 5 seasons, I don't know if the actors are just kind of beholden to that, or if the actors can then kick off and go, well, hang on, no, because I signed a contract that was the minimum of 5 seasons. So
Mm.
I'm not
Well, I
sure.
mean that the actor for Adar, the Gothic orc, he left, didn't he? After
Yeah.
one.
Bath
So
Time says I think it's contractual. They had to commit. They had to commit to get the rights. So if they break the clause, it will be insane.
wow.
Yeah, that's a
I
good point.
I think you brought it up earlier on. How many people are actually gonna go into this invested?
Some
And
will,
it,
some will.
some will, and I daren't look at, and I want to see positive videos on it. I want to see people's perspectives and see, okay, what did you like, and hear the absolute madness, because you see from everyone else, even from like, what is it now? I think my mum's not a Lord of the Rings fan. Like, she's not really into all that,
Hmm.
and she saw it. She looked over at the Rings of Power, and she's like, that looks bad. That looks rubbish. And I'm like, if my mum's saying it looks
Yeah.
crap and she knows nothing about film, there's something wrong. Um, but I've never known a show that's meant to be a banker, meant to be the big production, the one that is gonna bring Amazon new viewers. It's gonna really kickstart Amazon's um Amazon TV. I've never known it be so undermarketed. I mean, you look at the House of the Dragon; it already had about 3 trailers a
Hmm.
couple of months ago, building the hype constantly. And that I cannot see where they're going to regain the audience from. And I actually feel bad for watching it. Like, if we when we watch season 2, I feel like I'm contributing to it. It's like, I want to. I don't
Well,
want to. I
there's
want to
there's
watch
other
it to see
ways
the
and
badness.
there's other ways and means of watching the show where, you know, you won't contribute to anything. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, let's get a bit of piracy going on.
Yar. Or like one of the Corsairs or something. Yeah, I. This was their chance, right, with season 2 to try and amend the mistakes before. And to be honest, even I don't think you could ever unmake those mistakes from the previous season. I think how far they've already gone away from the source material, there is no way to corral it back to accurate lore or even halfway accurate lore at this point. It's a fan fiction, and it's not even a good fan fiction. I don't even want to call it a fan fiction because that's probably offensive to fan fiction writers, because I know that some people have done better fan projects than this.
I've got a
Um,
question for you.
mhm.
Have you thought about editing or trying to make something out of the Rings of Power
I was actually
show?
gonna bring that up towards the end, because it was running through my mind as we were talking about it. I don't. It'll be very short. I know that. I don't even think you make it to one episode because none of this shit happened. So maybe I'll wait until all 5 seasons are done and I'll see what I can do. I think you could probably get something maybe out of the prologue with the War of Wrath scene where you've got like the eagle is like an eagle like fighting a dragon or something. You see like a
Mm.
really quick shot of. You could probably do something with that. The Legion of Orcs marshalling in front of Sauron. Um, that honestly, that's probably it. Maybe something like the Fall of Numenor shit, but yeah,
Mm.
it's I don't think you can. I really don't think you can, because it's not even about like cutting some scenes that are stupid. That as you pointed out in your quiz, the writing is just atrocious. There's no way, and you can't do anything with that. You have to work with what you've got, and what we have is awful. It's the worst of the worst. And again, like Amazon acquiring the second age of Middle Earth rights from the Tolkien estate, and you can make you can do whatever you want, a show on the entire second age of Middle Earth. The potential for that alone is overwhelming. It's insane, and it's such a shame as to what they've done with it. It's maddening. In fact, you could have seasons upon seasons of material for this stuff, and you wouldn't have to create a single thing, because it's all right there. You'd have to develop something, sure, and there's big gaps in time in some of the appendices. I can appreciate that, so you would have to take artistic liberties here and there, but fuck me, not this artistic. Just back it down a little bit. So,
have you seen the Luke Inside Season 2 video?
I did, yeah. What'd you make of that?
I mean, I think that's been ratioed pretty badly as well.
Let me check the ratio on that, actually.
I pulled up a quote, and the actresses, and it's a common theme, actually, within that video, is them saying, we're there. This is the season. Last season was the build-up, moving the pieces, but this season is the one where this is the true season. And you get that from, is it Morph Clark? Is that the actress for Galadriel?
Morph Clark, yeah.
And she says, this season, Galadriel is being driven more by a bigger purpose. And I feel she's once again, let's have a look. And I feel she's once again becoming connected to Middle Earth and with all the people in it. So what? She had depression? What's she on about? She had what do you mean you aren't connected?
She looks exactly the same. From the trailer, her mannerism, like her expression, she's just got that permanent scowl, that frown on her face the entire time. They're doing exactly the same shit with her. Like, this was their opportunity to just sort of, correct any mistakes from the very vocal backlash that this, season 1 had. And they haven't done. They've just doubled down. It looks more of the same. I've seen some channels say like, oh, this is, they're turning it around. This is a step in the right direction. I'm like, it really isn't. What are you seeing? Are you really just shilling that hard for Rings of Power Season 2? Not naming any channels. Nerd of the Rings.
Not naming. Yeah, call them out. The problem is that I don't think they can take a backward step.
One would hope.
Because they can't. One would hope, yeah. Because if they show it to be weak, I think they see that as a flaw. I mean, I know it's not to do with the Rings of Power, but there was a quote from, I think, a Doctor Who writer. Have you heard this one where I think it's to do with like is it Davos?
Yeah, they said it's offensive to people in wheelchairs now. Have you seen what they've done to Davros? It's a damn shame. I'm not even like a massive Doctor Who fan. I used to be. Fuck me. Yeah.
Didn't he say something like, the production team and I felt uncomfortable showing disability is a villainous trait or something like that, and it's like, what?
Welcome to 2024.
So I feel with this, so I feel with this, they have to keep her strong and determined. And you look at Galadriel, what do you think? You think she's tall, she's got wisdom, bearing in mind how long she's been alive. She's been alive before the sun.
Yeah. And
you think that she's got wisdom and integrity, and then you look at what we've got, and you would never have thought, imagine it 10 years ago, right, we've got a show and we're picturing Galadriel, okay, you never thought she's going to be an elf warrior a leader of the Northern armies, who's who who turned away from Valinor, who swam back,
Fucking hell, yeah.
survived the volcano. You wouldn't believe it, would you? Who turned down Sauron? Sauron tried to hit on her. You wouldn't believe it. Madness. Absolute madness.
I would have gone for have you seen the Christopher Nolan film Tenet at all?
No. I haven't.
Guardians of the Galaxy 2?
Ooh, yes.
The gold chick, Elizabeth Debicki. I would have cast her as Galadriel, and I still would if they were to ever reboot Lord of the Rings, which I think it's almost confirmed that they will do that at some point. That's who I would cast. She's tall, she's graceful, she kind of looks elven, blonde. Yeah, and she's a great actress as well. So provided she's got good material, that's who I would cast. And then you see, like, that's what we could have, but then Mom's like, no, we've got Galadriel at home, and it's Morfydd Clark, who is none of those qualities that I just mentioned for Galadriel's character. And yeah, another big thing as well, we forgot to mention this, is that I've heard rumours that they're going to be tying up that gem of a storyline about Celeborn, her husband, who in Series 1, I believe she said is dead. And I think that was kind of just to spell it out that, you know, ain't going to be no man around these parts in Series 1. Galadriel's going to get stuff done on her own. But they have mentioned, well, they clearly need to address it, because shouldn't they have a child by this point, I feel, canonically in the timeline?
Married.
You know that, as you said, they're not going to make her weak. They're going to double down. They're going to make her stronger and more boring than ever. When we find Celeborn, it's going to turn out that, you know, like he's been imprisoned or something by Sauron, and he's in a really weak and frail state, and he's going to be so inept and so incompetent, and it's going to be like, you know, it's not the man that saves the day, it's going to be the woman that saves the day. He's the real damsel in distress, and Galadriel's going to rescue him, and he won't be able to fight, and he'll be terrible, and he'll be awful, and he'll just be an absolute liability, and it'll just be done in a way to magnify Galadriel's greatness. I can almost bet money that that's what's going to happen. But they do need to tie up that storyline. I wondered if the bit where, you know, in the trailer where she's like screaming and everything's red and it kind of looks like some kind of dream sequence or something. I wonder if that's her like remembering or Sauron revealing what he's done with Celeborn or something, maybe.
Oh, it could be, because where could that be? It's not in real life. It, like you said, it looks dreamy. To be fair, the shot looks so oversaturated. It looks horrible. It looks disgusting. And I really wish she showed that much effort that she did with her brother. Then, you know, she's like, oh, I'm going to find my brother's killer, but Celeborn, yeah, he's dead. Fucking no him. And madness.
Well,
And
Bath Time's casting his remake of Lord of the Rings in the comments right there. Let's see if you approve. It's very, very 2024. I will agree with that. Jenna Ortega as Frodo, Brienne of Tarth for Legolas, Kevin Hart as Sam, Nick Cage as Denethor, Robert Downey Jr. as Gandalf, and Chris Pratt as Elrond.
Ooh, you know they'll do that though.
Oh yeah. I'm still convinced they'll do that for the ring rates in this show. Well, you know, like 9 Kings of Men. Absolutely guarantee it's going to be mixed. 100%.
It's like no chance. Then there needs to be some females of power. That's what the show should be.
Yes.
The females of power. But there's a quote here from the guy playing Sauron. Is it Charlie Vickers, I think?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
that's
it
it.
is.
Yeah.
Since Sauron is building his strength, here we are in Mordor. One of the exciting things about this series, we're going to get to see Sauron out in the open. Making everything happen. we'll be able to watch it all unfold. Will we?
He's out in the
Oh,
open,
here we go.
letting it all hang out.
What is? Oh, I don't even. It's
Yeah, I heard that. I'm gonna try and share that screen if I can. When it cut to him, when it cut to his interview bit, and it came up with his name at the bottom, and it said like Charlie Vickers or whatever as Sauron, and like the makeup job is so bad on him. Oh, that's where they have that's where they have Arondir shot in complete darkness. That made me laugh. Sorry.
Oh, there you go. Is that Aaron? No, is that?
Where is Sauron? Where is Sauron? Oh, and Celebrimbor shows up and he's like, "We have an unexpected visitor." I'm just like,
he seems docile. The actor.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would be.
It's like,
there it is. Right.
yeah.
Here we go. Look at this shit. Share screen. the Edgelord 5000 right here. Can you see that on screen?
Right, I'll have to wait for it pop up. Oh my god! Like,
and it just comes up like I looked at that, and you look at the bottom corner, and it just says Charlie Vickers, Sauron, and you look back at him, and you're like, nah, nah.
What scene do you reckon they're doing there?
Yeah, I don't. Is this like a stand-in for Mordor or something? It looks like a kind of. Because he's not elven here, is he? He kind of like in his Halbrand. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Well, there's a shot in there in the trailer. I think it's like at the very beginning of him looking very upset, whilst he looks like Halbrand. So I don't.
Yeah, that's not a carryover from season 1, is it?
I will not be surprised if we spend the first half of this season with him as Halbrand, and then towards the latter end, you have him change. But what I don't get is that why would he have gone to Mount Doom already? Because that's how it ended, wasn't it? He just randomly rocked up at Mount Doom, and this is where I think that fortress, what you see in the trailer, that's what he's building. He's building his place there, and I think that will be Barrett the start of it, which is baffling, absolutely baffling.
Do you remember the end credit song to Series 1 as well, where it was that kind of Gollum song knockoff, and it was awful. It was like 3 rings of power for the Elven Kings. It was basically the same fucking song as Gollum's song, but they were just doing like the ring verse. I was like, oh my god. Like you end your final shot on Mordor, and then that kind of song comes in. I swear it was like written in the same key and everything. I'm like, yeah, you're just trying to do like the ending of Two Towers with that pan up to Mordor and that song coming in.
One thing I thought as well from season 1, I thought the music was very forgettable.
Yeah, and I mean it's Bear McCreary.
It didn't have soul.
Yeah, I like Bear McCreary. Like some of his stuff that he's done is brilliant stuff. And I don't even know if I can really be mad at him for that, because I mean when you're presented with that, you try doing like any kind of engaging music to go alongside it. I think I did listen to the soundtrack in isolation once. And I remember thinking like, oh, that motif's okay, but it's just, I can't remember anything from it. You know, you come out of, the Lord of the Rings films, and you're like, dun, 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 or like the Rohan theme or the Hobbit theme, whatever it happens to be, Isengard. There's so many themes that you just like instantly remember. I can't remember a damn thing about the Rings of Power, apart from that awful end credit song I just mentioned. And that even then, that's kind of vague.
Can you hum me the Numenorian motif?
Fuck's sake. Yeah, no. Not at all.
No,
not at all.
The Bath Time actually said one that I actually liked, to be fair. And it was that "Not Everyone That Wanders Is Lost" song. I thought that was nice. I thought that was a nice bit.
Do the Hobbits sing that one? Is that one like
Yeah,
that Nori sings or something?
Which is baffling because they leave everyone behind to die. It's like, not all those who wander are lost. Yeah, you die.
Lenny Henry just
Oh,
randomly
shit.
died as well, didn't he? Does he sit on a log and just says like, just leave me here and let me die?
He just closes his eyes and then next minute he's in a Premier Inn. It's like, what are you doing? Oh, what do you call it? Because the reason why I brought up the music is because it threw me off the fact that the music in the trailer, it wasn't tense. It wasn't. It threw me off straight away from memory. Is it like techno? It's like electrical, isn't it?
It's some kind of electrical sound, yeah. Like it starts off with almost like an Inception boom at the beginning, like this techno sound, yeah. I mean, I ain't gonna say that it turns into Darude Sandstorm, you know. Like, it doesn't go into that, but yeah, it's definitely more electronic based, which doesn't fit Middle Earth, does it? Like, you just don't associate that kind of stuff. I remember having the same thing when Ed Sheeran rocks up with a fucking acoustic guitar at the end of Desolation of Smaug. I was like, ooh, this is just don't fit. Doesn't fit, you know. Or actually, no, a better example. Do you remember when they did Game of Thrones? I think it was season 3, right after when Jaime gets his hand cut off, and then it goes into like this rock version of The Bear and the Maiden Fair.
Yeah, the bear. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I was like, well, hang on. I was having a moment there at the end of that episode, and now I'm just like, whoa, what the... Yeah, what is happening? I remember I was watching that on my computer at the time, and I thought like a pop-up had come up when that song kicked in. I was like, oh shit, no, it's part of the episode. Yeah.
Do you think... Which character do you think is going to get butchered the most in this series?
That hasn't already.
Yeah. Or they could extend the hurt to many of the characters that they've already done damage
I
to.
honestly think it's going to be Celeborn. Now, I know we haven't seen him yet. I think there's rumours that we're going to... Well, we'll have to, actually, because he's one of the... We see the shot where they put all hands in, all 3 elves. Círdan the Shipwright's going to have to be in this as well, because he possesses the Rings of Power as well. It's probably him, because he's a really, really cool character in the book. He's a fascinating character. But out of the ones we've seen, I don't know. I think Adar's going to be fine. The elf character's just so nondescript that he never even has a character anyway. Bronwyn's probably out of there. Miriel's just chilling. Farazon maybe, because they're going to do some kind of like Donald Trump taking our jobs thing with him. That's really not what Farazon is. See, part of me thinks like, oh, maybe like a legacy character, you know, like Galadriel or like a Gandalf or something like that, but yeah, I don't know. Probably, yeah, that would probably be my answer, I think.
I think that's a solid one.
I mean, we've got... I forgot like characters like Isildur and Elendil. Like, they'll probably naff them up as well. Because we see him in the trailer as well. He's in like some kind of like crowd shot, isn't he, Elendil? And he's like reaching for someone like, no, or whatever. Don't know what's going on with that. SeaWorld Man says, let's not politics. Is that to me, or is that addressing to the show, or... Oh, Bathsime says, right, it's bedtime, lads. Do more of these when I'm back from the pub, please. Sure.
Have a pint on us, bath time.
It comes in pints. I'm getting one.
Oh, mate. What quote do you reckon they'll shoehorn in?
Oh, that's a great question.
From the original.
Oh, fuck. Oh. So what big... Oh, it's going to be something with Sauron. Like, he's going to show up and they're gonna drop a line. What will it be? Huh. That's a really good question. I mean, we've already had those who wander are lost. All that is gold does not glitter. We've already had that. We've had the follow your nose. Oh, it'd be one of like the famous ones or something, won't it? Because they go with like all like the main lines.
Mm.
I'll say like the menu, back on the menu. I don't think they'll do that. I don't know. What do you think? I'm drawing a blank on that. Because they will do it.
Ooh.
They will do it. Have they done
Same. I'm
Galadriel's
drawn.
things that were, things that are, and some things that have not yet come to pass? Have they done that one yet?
No, but that's one.
I'm
That's a
thinking.
shout.
I'm going to say that one. Not that they've got like to the Mirror of Galadriel yet, but they don't have to. They'll find a way to get that in there, I think. Or maybe no.
I've got a
I Am No
feel.
Man. They'll probably do that.
Oh, I think. 'Cause I was thinking about this with the Gandalf. What is he actually going to do this season? And I completely forgot that he he at one point couldn't speak a word of English, and then a couple of minutes later he's fluent.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I think it's going to be a Gandalf quote.
We've had Follow Your Nose.
I'll-
What are you thinking?
Let's have a look. Let's get some Gandalf quotes.
Right, so they're going into the east. They're going into Rune. And Nori's there. Rune Gandalf. Is it left or right? Left. Sorry, we can't call him Gandalf, can we, for legal reasons?
Oh no, the stranger. How inventive.
Stranger.
Right.
Can we just...
Right.
Gandalf showed up to Middle-earth on a fucking meteor from space.
And they teased it as Sauron.
From space?
Do you remember that?
From a comet, yeah. No, they thought everyone was Sauron. Like Slim Shady picture, sorry, Slim Lady shows up. That's Sauron, and then we're like, oh, it's a chick, and we're like, oh, sorry, love, sorry, fuck, okay. And then it was Then it was the stranger. It was Meteor Man, and then it was like he's Sauron. And it was like no. And then it was Adar,
No.
and it was like, oh, Uncle Benjen, he's been cast. He's gonna be Sauron. He'll be a great Sauron, and I think he would have been a great Sauron actually. It's like, oh no. And then it was Halbrand, and it was like, really, guys, he's not Sauron. And we're like, yeah, but he is, though, isn't he?
He is, though, isn't he? Like,
do you remember when he just like caves someone's head in that alleyway, where he just like repeatedly slams his head against like, and there's like a bloody pulp, and you're just watching it like, this ain't Lord of the Rings.
I can't even remember that.
He's on Numenor, I think,
bit was that?
and there's like 3 guys square up to him, and he just like breaks one of their arms, like compound fracture, and like caves someone's head in against the wall. I'm just like, this you've lost me. Well, you'd lost me way before this, but you've definitely lost me now.
That's when you were out. It was like, I've done.
Yeah.
I've done. Oh, sorry, you go.
No, I was gonna say, were there any other shots from season 2 or moments from the season 2 trailer that like genuinely like angered you, or have you just kind of have the effects of series 1 just kind of washed over you, and you just feel like you're watching more of the same thing again? Because I don't think anything outright pissed me off. Like I think I got all of that out of my system with series 1, and now I'm just like, right, let's see what you got. Let's see what you're doing with it this time.
I think I've got a null to it. I don't think anything can annoy me as much as season 1 did. To be fair, the I think the peak one was the volcano. I think after that, I'm done.
Yeah.
If Mount Doom can erupt on you, and you all survive, and the fact that Waldrig's the one who did it, he's the one who created it, and they took that seriously, it's like, yeah, you've had me. Oh, there's something about that scene that creases me every time. Is the fact that Theo, they say to him, hide the sword hilt, and he hides it in the barn. He doesn't take it out, doesn't dig it in a hole. He literally has it in a barn. Oh, it's awful, absolutely awful.
Was it a Morgul? No, it wouldn't have been a Morgul blade, because Morgul hasn't been invented yet, because the ring wraiths haven't been created. But It kind of did, when the sword dissolves in Fellowship of the Ring, he's been stabbed by a Morgul blade. Psh, it wasn't the sword like that, or when someone touched it, it kind of like formed into a full sword, didn't it? And then I don't know, some bullshit thing.
Yeah, because I think it demanded blood for some reason. You had to cut yourself or stab the sword with your arm.
Well, who made it?
It would give you that.
Because didn't they find like a piece of parchment with the sword on it, like it was this super like ancient relic, and then, but the relic is there to turn a thing so that all the river can flood into the underground caves to set a volcano off, but like who?
Yeah, which they'd been ditching for a while, so
Yeah.
that's what they were digging. They were digging that.
So the trenches weren't even there in the first place under the river. So what was this sword/key for made then? Like, what was it? What was its purpose? It reminds me of. Did you see Rise of Skywalker, Star Wars Episode 9?
Oh,
You know
yes.
the magical bullshit dagger that lines up perfectly with the wreckage of the Death Star.
Yeah,
It's that. It's like what?
It's like Goonies level, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
There was one shot that pissed me off actually
Oh, go on.
in the trailer.
See if we
It's
can
the
bring it up.
hero shot.
Oh, are you talking about
when Elrond spins his sword.
Oh,
like, oh.
yes. Yeah. Hang on. Wait, was that in the behind the scenes or was that in the actual trailer?
Actual trailer.
Okay, let me...
And I tell you what, he looks like the least intimidating person going.
Oh, I know.
Our Elrond.
What do you reckon to this shot? I thought this was a pretty baller shot, actually. Pharazôn rocking up. I don't know if he rode in on the eagle, but he's got like the sword drawn and the eagle's behind him.
Oh, they did it like Game of Thrones, with Daenerys when you had the wings in the background.
Oh, yeah.
It's like...
Oh, is this the hero shot? Is this it?
Oh, please.
Oh, he draws the sword there in his cavalry charge, and it might not be that one.
No, it's right at the beginning, but please get up the wanderer, the stranger, with his staff.
Oh, hang on, here we go. Prepare yourself.
Oh,
here we go.
Actually, now that we're going through it, there's a few that annoy me.
Oh, then we've got as I saw on a Nerderotics channel, Asian representation right here with with Mulan apparently. Lore accurate elves. It's always nice to see. Oh yeah, this bit was weird with like the tree roots, and then like there's someone stood there you can see in the background. I'm not sure who that's meant to be.
Celebrimbor.
Or is he trying to discover what an alloy is?
Yeah, Master Smith. It's like, oh, an alloy?
This shot, this fucking shot. Come on.
Oh, there is a troll in there. If you notice, I didn't pick it up.
Hey, that's no way to talk about Disa.
Yes, everyone's favourite.
Hang on, let me try and pause this Galadriel shot because it always cracks me up. Because you know her facial expressions when she's riding a horse.
Mm.
I mean, it's the Kraken.
Oh my!
I don't know if it looks like a very Middle-earthen creature. Like just how it's designed. I mean, as I say, like it could be like a kind of Watcher in the Water thing, like a nameless thing that are primeval and primordial and predated Middle Earth, came out of the void or something. This looks like some kind of human sacrifice thing to me. I don't know if it's like a Numenorian thing they're starting to do the sacrifices.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I picked as well. I don't think it'll be a dream sequence. I think this will be towards the end, and they're going batshit. They're going crazy.
And we're getting Dwarven Rings of Power as well. Although there is a shot of, I think it might be in the behind the scenes one, you see Disa sort of holding this giant Easter egg looking thing, or like a Palantir type thing. So I don't know if that's like the magical blue ore from that's then fashioned into this ring. But
do you reckon she'll get a ring?
Houdisa? Oh, fuck's sake.
Do
Yeah.
you reckon?
Yeah, you're
Do you
probably
reckon
right.
he'll? Do you reckon he'll be like? Durin will be like, "I'm not having it. It's yours." She'll get one. Oh, look at the first frame of the stranger when he does it and
That's
just
it.
pulls it. It reminds me of something from like Oliver Twist. Like,
He's like Fagin.
yeah, Luke,
You gotta pick a pocket
consider
or two.
yourself. Yeah, yeah. Oh man, now that you go through it,
Yeah, I was trying to pause it. I was like, are both the hobbits hanging on there, like Frodo and Sam? Frodo and Sam, female Frodo and Sam, or is it just the one person? I can't really tell. It looks like there's two people there, maybe
yeah, it
hanging on
looks
to
like
it.
two.
Like there, yeah. Bloody hell, that's
Yeah,
a
there's
strong
two
rope.
people.
Oh yeah, oh two. Oh look at that! If I can pause it, yeah, two. Shit, two flaming arrows, isn't it?
Mm.
Fuck. Okay, yeah, it goes by
Oh,
too quick.
please get the Aaron Deer shot of him jumping out of the cart.
Oh god, yeah. Hang on, whereabouts is it? It's before. No, it's after that. There it is.
Let's have a look.
You know what? I'm even going to sweeten the deal. Let's slow this down to 0.25.
Right, let's have a look. Oh my. Ugh.
Okay, it's coming up after this, isn't it? I think I'll
Right, I'm
try
watching.
defying gravity. What the? What the
The thing
actual
is,
fuck
though,
is that? He propels
it
from nothing. Like, you can't just be
it does.
stationary in a cart. Like, where does he?
I
Like,
just
there's
love the
straight up
fact
like
how you got
wind
this.
like rolling off him when he does this. Like,
And look, watch a steel door. You got him jumping out of there for no reason, and then it just wanders from behind
oh,
it.
that
He
is a
just
Sildor,
walks
isn't it? I think I mentioned that in my reaction, and I thought, oh no, it looks, it could be I said Theo, but yeah, no, actually, yeah, just looking at that, yeah, that's a Sildor, isn't it?
But like, the other guy goes missing from the next shot. It looks like it's cut. Like, where does look the difference between those two shots?
Yeah, so there's this guy right here you're talking about in the mail, right?
Yeah, he just goes missing, and then his door just pops up. But where's he jumping out from? What's
Yeah, I had no idea what's going on there. And I couldn't tell if our Pharazon's riding in on this eagle. I kept pausing it to see if I could see him on his back. Now when I go there, you can't really see anyone on his back, but this next shot looks like he's just dismounted or something.
Yes, I reckon it is. I reckon he's gonna fly in, and this is his time. I reckon the king is dead, and now that Muriel's away, she'll be traveling back, and you look at Arthars, and he's going to be ruling the roost. And I think that's when you'll see Elendil will be. You see a shot of him trying to get through the crowd. I reckon it's because stuff is happening. Stuff is kicked off.
And that's where you really could have your Game of Thrones kind of storytelling, if if it was written well, or as I imagine the House of the Dragon's written. That's where you could have some really cool stuff going on with Ar-Pharazôn and the kings, and that slow descent of Numenor. You could really pace that out over a few seasons. And I don't think we're going to get any of that. And Ar-Pharazôn's a fascinating character. I mean, he's an absolute tyrant in the books, in the Silmarillion, but he's a fascinating character. And I think, doesn't he march his armies to the gates of Mordor and calls out Sauron directly? I might be misremembering this because it's been a while since I read the Silmarillion. And then Sauron kind of willingly surrenders himself, and they march Sauron back a prisoner to Numenor, and then it's over the course of like a few years, through like words and actions and everything, Sauron slowly corrupts the entire nation of Numenor, which is great. But let's just get Halbrand in a wig, and that'll do. Call it a day.
I will not be surprised if throughout this show they'll switch between the two. So the Sauron and the Sauron that goes back to Numenor, I would not be surprised if it's in Halbrand's form. And I've got a feeling that when Elendil, sorry, is kicking off at the end, I reckon it's to do with Ar-Pharazôn, and it's to do with that underwater creature that everything's going batshit, and it'll be a main character's getting sacrificed. It could be the daughter who no one cares about, who's got no relevance, is probably might get killed, and that'll be your shock. This will be your Game of Thrones moment, which no one cares. I mean, do you remember that she got onto was it the Smiths Guild in last
Oh,
season?
she did. Yeah. The only thing I remember about her vaguely, very very vaguely, is didn't she get like a palantir at the end? Was that the final shot?
Did she?
Wasn't I seem to wasn't it like a secret chamber in like the king's bedchamber or something, and there was like a palantir in there, or something. I swear to God, she like acquires a palantir, and
Yes,
doesn't she
she
see
does.
a vision of the fall of Numenor, and like she's seen that now.
Ooh, I know Muriel did.
Oh, I might be
I
thinking of
don't
that.
know.
I might be
Because
thinking of that.
Muriel sees the one, I think she's got like a baby in her arms, and she's walking towards it, and you see like the tsunami waves coming over. But I know that whatever her name is, Jugs, she has it where she sorry if you're watching at home, the actress, I do apologise. But yeah, she has the palantir because she goes in, she sneaks around. The king doesn't have any king's guard, and she sneaks in and gets a look at the palantir. So yeah, and
I think she's got a couple herself, hasn't she?
That's where they fell.
I'd look into those palantirs any day.
Did you say that Deesa's got one in the behind the scenes?
I'll try and find it. Hang on. I can't tell what it is. There wasn't like a thing in like the last season where they were trying to go for like a super precious ore, were they? Because I seem to remember like a whole thing like they were mining for something. But was it for like a special?
Mithril.
Was it just for Mithril? Is that all it was? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. It's towards. Oh God, this fucking shot! I've got to show you this. Well, I mean, you've already seen the behind this thing where you've got the three broads singing, and then she's like, oh, like look at her. I can't really. You can't really see it very well there, but look at fucking Deesa's face there, like. And I think it's this next shot, maybe. Where is it? Oh, here we go.
I can't wait to get more singing.
That was what I thought the Barrow-wight was. It looks like they're like the King of the Dead type looking thing.
Oh really?
There we go.
Oh wait.
Obviously, it hasn't been lit, and there's no like fog there or anything. But if you look closely, it's got a crown on its head. It's got like chains around its neck and rings. So I'm like, yeah, they're probably going to be Barrow-wights.
Oh man, what else can they just leave it alone?
There we go. Oh, we get a lovely little thigh shot there. Well, it's not a little thigh shot at all, is it? A fucking massive tree trunk of a thigh shot there from Deesa. And then she's like holding. I don't know what that is. What is it? It's like a palantir. It looks like a palantir.
It looks like a palantir.
And she's she's screaming as she's holding it, and are the fans kicking up? So it's kind of that reaction that Pippin has when he's holding it, and everything kind of freaks out.
I just love how you've got that you've disliked.
Oh, of course, It goes without saying. Man, I did that shit before I even watched the video.
Straight away, you just know. And aren't these like inside videos? I remember I used to watch them, and you used to learn things, and you'd get something from it. Now it's everyone. It's awful. It's absolutely awful. It's people trying to justify. It's like, it's changed. It's good. This season's the one. I mean, I think the Disa actor on that clip that you got up, I think she said something like that.
Oh, decent.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I think it's after the music here, isn't it? Let me, You can't hear that, can you? I just realised because it's going to have to come through my microphone.
Do I pop the subtitles?
Yeah, she says, you'll see us in all our glory. And I was like, for the love of God, I don't want to see any more of Disa's glory. Thank you very much. I've seen enough. I've seen all I need to see. These weary eyes.
Do you reckon her enjoyment is genuine?
Her what, sorry?
Her enjoyment of, being part of the show is genuine, or do you reckon she's got a gun to her head?
I mean, they are actors, aren't they? It's difficult to say. I get the impression that Prime kind of gives them notes and says, you've got to talk about this stuff when you're in press events. Keep referring to this. So yeah, what do actors believe? I think you could just use that across the board, but I do think Prime probably has a list of things that they once said in certain press things, definitely. And even I forgot her name. What was her name? Rachel Zegler, who's going to be Snow White, and she said all of that horrific shit about like the original one and how it's going to be updated for modern audiences and things like that. I don't think she has any tact as a person anyway, and I do think she is very narcissistic and selfish in a way, just how she talks about her other cast members and how entitled and insufferable she kind of comes across. But I believe everything she said in those press events were instructed by Disney, and Disney would have said, right, say that the first one came out 80 years ago and it's going to be updated and she's not going to be saved by the prince and she's going to be a strong woman, blah, blah, blah. I think that would have been all Disney, but I think the way she conducted herself was all her. So I imagine it's probably the same for the cast on here. I think they have like a list of talking points that they have to keep mentioning.
If you get invited to the premiere, would you
well, it ain't going to happen now.
No.
Maybe I should just turn into a massive shill, and just say that this is very lore accurate and it's going to be great.
Yeah, just
clip that. Just someone clip that and send that off to Amazon. There you go. I said it's very lore accurate and amazing.
I'd love to interview some of them, especially the writers. I think they're the ones I'd be like, I'd love to just sit down. I think we should do it. I think we should shill and be like,
so hard.
I love it. I love everything about it. Get an interview with him and just go. So first question, what the fuck are you doing? What have you done? Fucking Patrick McKay, whatever your name is. I am in season 1. I actually got invited to the premiere of season 1.
Did you actually?
Yeah.
Oh,
and I turned it down. It was by, so the Fellowship of the Fans.
Uh-huh.
So I helped them start that channel. So it was someone who's a fan, and I think they contacted us on Instagram, and they were saying like they wanted to start a channel, and so I gave them advice and that, and I hadn't spoken to them for a while, and I think they did a lot of positive stuff around it, and they said during the time, they said, "Oh, we've got a ticket for the premiere in London.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you want to go?" And I was like, "Oh, thank you, but like, no. Like, I've already slagged it off. I'm not going to go and be like, oh, it's amazing,' because
appreciate you, man. Fair play to you for that."
So yeah, I could have been there, and I'm glad that I to be fair, I would have loved to have gone just to have seen. Just to have been the only one in the room that's like, what? What is this? So yeah, if I get any more invites
for season 2,
I'll chuck them your way.
Thank you.
Chuck it your way.
You'll chuck them my way, and then I'm going to go armed with this, and I'm going to chuck this at the writers. I'll be like, fucking have it.
You'll be like the people with the Bibles outside of shopping centres, just like,
yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah, but that was actually really upsetting to me, seeing all those channels that I'd been subscribed to that I loved and watched constantly just turn up and shill for it. It was so bad. It was all across the board. Nerd of the Rings, don't get me wrong, when that guy's putting out content, it is fantastic content, and some of the interviews that he's getting from people, love all of that stuff, and I'll stand by that, and his lore videos are very accurate. But I lost so much respect for the bloke when he just came out shilling for everything. I stood by Men of the West. He called it like it was. He kind of towed the line with some bits. He like offered a few more positives in there, and he even seemed like to be a bit cagey that say like, yeah, I didn't like this and it's really bad. Haven't seen his video on season 2 though, so I don't know if he's caved as well, but he seems to stay pretty true. But then you had like the Prancing Pony podcast as well that I used to watch, and they shilled massively for it. And I get it when Amazon are like paying for you to like fly to another country or putting you up in rooms or whatever they were doing and giving you all of these things. Yeah, I guess it can be quite enticing, but to me, integrity is so much more important than all of that. And yeah, but people do it. People do it. Someone from my old channel did it. So it happens. It happens. It really does. I don't think I could ever be like that though. I think I'm too opinionated. I wouldn't be able to do it. I wouldn't feel right. This is just wrong. Especially when it's something I really care about, like this, like Lord of the Rings or something. I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's like if you're in a lore channel, you're surely not happy with it. Just from that
if you
alone,
built your channel off it, yeah, definitely.
Like, but it's not as if it's like, oh, the lore's not great, but the acting and everything else is good. No, it's bad.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I don't get how anyone can sit down and go, oh, this is great. But I haven't watched the Nerd of the Rings breakdown, so I'll probably give that a watch later today.
Yeah, let me know what he says.
25 minutes long. But yeah, I agree. Like, I can't pretend that I like it just to appease people, because I wouldn't be true to myself. And at the end of the day, I would rather lose subscribers and be true to me than be, oh, this is great, this is amazing, and know that I'm kidding it and being a fool. But I absolutely loved the season 2 trailer. It was the best trailer I've ever seen. And Patrick McKay, if you're watching, please let us interview you. Thank you very much.
There you go. Clip that. Someone clip that. There we go. I've got a clip. You've got a clip. We're sorted. Red carpet. August 29th. Bring it on. I think I've said everything I can on Rings of Power right now. I'm sure we'll use a lot more colourful terminology when it gets towards August 29th. But yeah, we'll probably have to do a rewatch, maybe, of season 1, perhaps, just so we're fully on board and fully invested for season 2. So someone can't say to us like, oh, the reason you didn't like season 2 is because you can't remember what happened before. Well, fuck you guys. I'm going to rewatch series 1 beforehand, okay? I'm going to do it. I'm going to be caught up. I'm going to be fresh. I'm ready for 8 more episodes. 3 right off the bat, though. Oh, I didn't know that.
Oof.
That's...
Well...
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going straight into the deep end with that one.
It was 2, wasn't it, for series 1? Did they release 2 to begin with? Yeah.
Yeah. I can't even... Is August the 29th? What day does that fall on?
It's a Friday, I think. I checked.
Is it a Friday?
Just double check. Pretty sure it's a... yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a Friday. Calendar. Mark your calendar, guys. Yeah, so...
Get it in the
29th. Boot. Is it 29th? Let me check the end of the trailer again.
Is it the 29th or 26th?
August 29th, new season. Oh, yeah, no, sorry, my bad. That's going to be a Thursday, isn't it? Is it a Thursday? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah, Thursdays. Thursdays. Oh, it would have to be on a day where I do an 11-hour shift, wouldn't it? Ugh.
Oh,
Start the day off
the
strong,
tough
get
one,
up
and
at the
then you
crack
get
of
the
dawn and
treat.
watch 3 episodes of Rings of Power before doing an 11-hour shift.
Oh, that's tough. I feel for you, there, mate.
We'll get it done. We'll get it done.
But honestly, um, like availability, for that and how you want the structure,
Mm-hmm.
those videos. It could be, you know, we pre-record it, we sit down, we watch it with the show in shot and have an overlay over it, like to kind of block
Oh,
it
that'd
out
be
a little
cool to
bit.
do.
And
Yeah, we could do that.
it's just so that we can get the highlights of that. Or if you want to do where, we jump on here and we both make notes on all the scenes, and we run through each other's notes. I'm absolutely down for that. And I know I've taken quite a bit of time away from YouTube, and I really loved doing the live videos with
Mm-hmm.
yourself. And you know I want to do more, man. And I think you're doing great, and I think you're doing really good things in this space.
Oh, thanks,
And
man. I appreciate it. Well,
yeah.
I'm glad we got back in contact, and we can we can take season 2, by the horns, and we will go after it. I'm down for that. We can do reaction videos to the series. Just watch us slip slowly into madness across the course of 3 episodes. That could be fun. Yeah, reviews, discussions, and hopefully a Waldrig video along the way. I want to see that Waldrig video.
Yeah.
But yeah, this has been great. Yeah, I mean, I love talking about Middle Earth stuff, but even better when I get to chat to someone else about it. And yeah, the Rings of Power. You help make the Rings of Power bearable for me, and it's always a pleasure to talk Middle Earth stuff with you and everything in between. So yeah, more videos to come. I'm excited for it, and it'll be really good. So yeah, it's been really good catching up with you again tonight and jumping onto this. And yeah, I'm sure we'll be in discussion anyway, and we'll arrange something else very shortly. I guarantee. So first off, thank you very much for taking 2.5 hours out of your night. I really appreciate that on a Friday. And I guess we can just end. I've got the links to your channel in the description, but if you want to sort of tell guys where they can find you, what to search for, and some things you might have coming up.
Yeah, thank you honestly for like all your kind words and for having me on today. It has not felt like 2 hours.
No, it's gone
I've
quick.
enjoyed every minute of it, and what I love the format as well, because it's just having a conversation. We can take it wherever we want. I didn't think we'll be doing a Rings of Power quote game, and
Yeah.
it's amazing. I think it's amazing what you got, man. So
Thanks, man.
don't change, man. You got some really great stuff going. In terms of where people can find me, so everything in Middle Earth on YouTube, and then I've got everything in Middle Earth on Instagram. I post Lord of the Rings memes on there, and for YouTube, I'm working on a video on the War of the Rohirrim.
Oh,
So
sweet.
I'm doing all the details what we got so far, and then hopefully gonna do a breakdown of the hunt for Gollum as well. And yeah, and a couple of projects that I want to do with yourself as well. I really want to watch the Hobbit, the Russian Hobbit.
We've got to do it. We've got to do it.
And I'd love to as well do some collab videos as well, some collab lore videos, and really get that going for both of us. Because I see you're so passionate, and I think having that and creating videos, I think that would be great, mate. So yeah, this is a year that I really want to get back into it, and
you can do it,
really
man. Do
really
it.
give it a crack.
Yes,
So
you can do it.
Thank you very much.
No problem. Always a pleasure. As I say, link to the description. Everything in Middle Earth. Go check his channel out. I'm really looking forward to that War of the Rohirrim video. To hear your opinions on that, because they've released a couple of little concept art things, and so far, I think it looks pretty good. I'm cautiously optimistic for it, but yeah, looking forward to those videos. Thank you to everyone in the chat, absolute troopers. I know I didn't get to everyone's comments. I'm sorry, we had quite a lot coming in. There was one from GT Verba who said, "Is this the legend who made that famous Hobbit fan edit?" Well, I ain't going to say I'm famous by any stretch of the imagination, but I did make a Hobbit fan edit, and you can find it on my channel. That is my namesake on the channel, so just scroll through. It's my first ever video. You'll find it on there if you want to check it out. But yeah, this has been amazing. Thank you to everyone who tuned in tonight. Thank you to yourself once again, and we will be back very shortly with some more Middle-earth content, guaranteed. Have a good night, everyone.